I think I was really passionate and really driven. I put
Yeah.
long hours in, and I think I was the happiest in my life.
I mean, anytime you would look, there would be like 10 people playing the game, and this like shocked me, and there were positive comments and all that. And I think this gave me like a motivation for the next 10 years of doing different side projects.
uh, Really hard to maintain that passion because it's going up and down because
Yeah.
we are human.
Many people don't realize how short the weeks are actually, or how short the day is, right? So if you have a job and you sleep, this is like 16 hours gone.
Yeah, I think
Hello, my name is Vita.
my name is Jane.
Yeah, we are software engineers. I've been coding for more than 10 years, contracting most of it in England as a freelancer consultant. Worked on some pretty large scale projects that transact millions of pounds a day. And now I'm working mostly remotely. And Jane, what about you?
Yeah, I'm also a contractor for the past 5 years. Started with you. You introduced me to the English market, but previously I only worked for 1 year like a student, but I had a goal in mind to start working in the other markets.
Okay. Why is that? Why did you want to work in the other markets?
I think you were a great inspiration, and I think the Slovenia was too little for what I had in my mind in that time.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate this a lot. No, I'm so glad we did this together. Um, and then we actually started one of our side projects together back then. Do you remember?
Yeah,
Twitch calendar. That was quite interesting. It was
yeah.
really,
It was a unique use case because we both watched Twitch, and that was a common issue.
yeah,
How to make the calendar, what starts when, and that was start of something.
yeah. So why we are talking about the side project is because this episode is all about the why should we make side projects and what's the value of them. So with Yanni, we're gonna explore what do you get out of it, how to do it, how to balance work-life balance. I mean, work and main work and side project.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Anything else you would like to discuss there about side projects?
No, I think let's start with first question.
The first question is, so why should someone do side projects? What do you think?
I think there are different interests why someone would start it,
Okay.
like to grow programming skills, like marketing skills. There are different aspects of the business that you want to explore. In our cases, it was programming. In my first side project, it was like, let's do a business. It was just that idea. My first side project was a subscription model. I just wanted to copy a proven model from the USA and make it in Slovenia.
Okay.
So I wanted to test that idea really quickly, and yeah, it took me a year and a half to get to the zero. And I think that was a big success for me, but
Yeah, absolutely.
there was a stoppage at the end because I think when there's no progress, I think you need to take a decision. It was a hard one, so I wanted to do a Slovenian diploma and finish a college.
Okay.
That was one aspect, and other one was also my co-founder was brother, who was
Yeah.
financing most of the project, and he had enough. Also, he had other interests to explore. So I think that was end of that road, and
Yeah.
yeah,
So you think you would continue if it grew a bit more, faster?
yeah.
Because you said it took
There
you.
were already half a year of plans to explore other markets, but I think there was some stoppage, and we wanted to prove Slovenian or some other markets. But yeah, it was also, I think there was quite a bit of distraction. I was 21, and I had to do a college on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So the second year I had to decide to leave it on the side and do nothing that year
Yeah.
regarding the college. So it was hard for me. So, but yeah, I put all my energy into that project. But yeah, at the end of it, I had to make a decision to continue the college or do that side project. But that side project was also like
Yeah.
didn't do enough money. So
Why will you continue? Yeah.
yeah,
I can see. And what was the best thing that you got out of that project?
I think best thing was I proved to myself that you don't need a group of people to make a project work, to prove an
Okay.
idea, to prove market fit. So I think the best thing was I proven to myself that I could push things quickly
Mm-hmm.
because I was responsible for the product and for the marketing. So I think what I wanted was in my hands.
Yeah.
What my brother did was deliveries and operations with the customers. So I think I was really passionate and really driven. I put
Yeah.
long hours in, and I think I was the happiest in my life
Oh,
to
nice. Okay.
prove that idea. I think because I was cooking it for the long time, and
Yeah. And the fact that you've proven it back then, it kind of pushes you to continue now, right? You are working on some side projects as well right now, no?
yeah. But I'm just cooking it in my ideas. That was my problem because
Mm-hmm.
I put myself in that position that idea was relatively good in my mind, and I think till now I had a problem to start some idea
Mm-hmm.
because I always come to some excuses that something is not executable. Or for the past 5 years, I was in a startup with 10 people, and you come to think like I need 10 people to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but it's a trap, and I'm coming to myself for the past month that it's just me that's needed in a project to make it
Yeah.
successful, and like cook that idea that I did first time that I could do it
Yeah.
myself.
Because today it's really something that I don't think people had in the history as much, that you can build something from your home, you can
Yeah,
sell it from your home, you can do pretty much everything digitally, and this is such a advantage, right?
yeah.
That
I think also the trend in tech is coming to this end because also the big companies like Google and Facebook are making the environments like startups. So they're making like
Mhm.
max 5 people to make some small products inside that big company
Yeah.
because this is a proven model that people need creativity and freedom to
Yeah.
and less stoppage that is, the more people are creative. Because if you wait 2 weeks for marketing to push things into next stage, you lose passion and fuck the idea. Then
No,
right,
no, I agree. Like the smaller teams absolutely move faster, and if you're alone, you're even faster,
yeah,
right? One good example I have of that is one of the big corporations I used to work for. We wanted to test a new feature. It was developed fairly quickly, actually, and then there was like analytics team and another operations team and I don't know what not, loads of different
hmm
teams that it had to go through, and we just wanted to do a simple test: is it going to work better or not? And the entire process took about like 6 months, I think.
hmm
But in the current team, it's like you implement it, push the experiment out while they were, and you get the results. But this new team is like what, less than 10 engineers, and we have all the power. But at the other one, it was like 100 engineers, several different teams with, I don't know, dozens of
hmm
people each. And yeah, I think if you want to move quickly and stay competitive, it's probably better to be really small, right? Um, but we are talking here about like indie hacking, independent,
hmm
going really like almost solo, right?
yeah,
At least side projects usually start like that,
hmm
I think. Um, so you said for you it was one of the biggest benefits was that it showed you what you're capable of.
hmm
And
was that case for you also
uh, maybe, yeah, maybe the
at the
first side,
start?
yeah, the first side project I did, I think that's a good one. I was still going to like high school back then in Slovenia, and yeah, with the first project that showed me this, that I'm capable of doing things is that I built like the first game similar to Travian, much simpler, basic version of the game, and I pushed it out to like a Slovenian sort of Reddit website, where all the links are aggregated, and people actually used it and played it, so there would be active 10 daily anytime you would look, there would be like 10 people playing the game, and this like shocked me, and there were positive comments and all that, and I think this gave me like a motivation for the next 10 years of doing different side projects. But I would also like to say that one of the best things I got out of the side projects is like learning. Like often I did different languages, different frameworks, these kind of things as a side project, and then I could really evaluate them and understand them. And I bet it even helped me land a job. In the past, I did something on my own, and then like you look at the next job offer, and look, they use this technology. And I also think this is probably one of the biggest recommendations if you look online. Make your own projects, right? And then companies are going to find you.
There's also different hypes at different times. So if you take interest in AI, take a look at it and explore it. Even if it's not a use case for you, just explore it. And you might land opportunity somewhere in the future just from that.
No, I absolutely agree with that. What about like the business side of side projects? Do you want to make money with your next side project?
I think this is the highest priority, I think, because at first it's the passion in the project. You cook an idea, you are in love with it, and you think how to make things together. But to make it a long run, I think there needs to be money in there, because you need to tie that idea to money, I think, because it's the same as you working in a job. Because you get the money every month, you wake up every day and do that job because you get money.
I see.
You see and you explore in that job some things and make it work. And similar is in a side project, because you get money from the customers, you want to make it work, and you want to do it every day. But if there's no money, it's really hard to maintain that passion, because it's going up and down, because we are human.
But at the end, it's really like survival, right? Like first it's job paying you, so you can survive off that. And then ultimately you're saying that side projects, you also want to get paid from it and survive from it, right? But the passion doesn't last, as you say, it goes up and down. And I can 100% agree with this. But it goes up and down as you discover new things. But what I notice is I tried to do many side projects in the past with many different people. And initially they are fired up, right? They are like, they got a new idea, they want to work on it. Let's do it. Like this weekend, we hack it, we make it, right? And then the next weekend, there is no more passion. So you were talking about cooking ideas before. Like, what did you mean with that?
I think exploring ideas deeper, because you can think an idea and think about it 2 days, but at the third day you make some research about that idea, and you say like, fuck that, there's already 20 companies like that. But that could be the best idea of those 20, and with a unique use case that could be better than other 20 if you cook it more. Because you could make a better case that you would be more in love with it.
I understand better use cases. Think of like the real unique selling proposition, not just making the same thing that others already did, but something unique, something that's going to move the market forward. I think Notion is a good example of that, right? First, you had like what Google Docs and Word and all of these like document editors, and you even have Google Drive, right, where all of it is consolidated in one place. And if the Notion guy would think, I'll make a document editor that's going to be consolidated, you would think like, that's Google Drive. What's the benefit of it? But then you see like he cooked it enough that he realized, look, this has to be quickly accessible, has to have like easy, blocks mode, so you can add images, so you can combine tables with Word documents. And I think that's why it's like multi-billion-dollar company right now.
You need to push it forward. But it's same with other products like Canva, that nobody saw the use case for it, because it's It's too simple, but no, it's a hit
No, it's a
for
hit.
people.
Yeah, Figma as well, right? There's
Yeah.
now that you mentioned Canva, Figma.
When you think about it, like you are, how did people think of it?
Yeah. I mean, like for Figma, I'm thinking specifically like there was Photoshop, there was Sketch, there was Adobe Illustrator,
Yeah.
there was all of these things before, right? But there was nothing quite as
But they
accessible on the
cooked
web.
it enough to come up with a use case to sell to startups or some,
To make it like for
yeah,
designers specific, right?
to make it quick, to move quickly. Like we started this topic, how to move quickly.
Yeah.
I think we use Figma now, we use Notion now, and we could use it like programmers. It's not a complicated stuff like Photoshop, and you take years to set it up, and you're bored of that idea.
Yeah. With Figma, well, you can really, it's much simpler, yeah, and
Yeah.
it translates the code much better too. So it's really good. Let's see if we have any other interesting questions.
My question is,
Go ahead.
when is time to abandon idea? Because in my use case was like it was time, and you come up to life choices to do some other things like college, or there's not enough money, and different partners, different interests.
Yeah.
What's your story? When do you switch to another project?
Yeah, I think like in general, my biggest struggle is making that final push, like marketing, putting it out. I built countless things, but rarely ever I feel like I made 10% of the effort I put into coding and marketing. Like there's always 10 times more coding that I did than I did marketing, for example. And I think this quickly turns into, project not being commercially successful because it didn't have a proper marketing. And then maybe I realized, look, requires much more work. And, then it kind of, the passion dies down and I see, oof, yeah, it's not the thing for me. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a marketer, day to day. I'm a programmer first. And I think in the past, now I gave marketing as an example, but in the past, it was, I think most of the time, I built something really cool, really useful for me. And then I hit something, I learned something and I was like, okay, it's going to be really hard to continue from here, or I'm going to have to hire people. I'm going to have to change completely what I'm doing. And I don't want to do this, especially if I had a job right on the side and then devoting yourself to being a marketer or calling people or something like that. It's really
But
dynamic.
at the start of that project, do you already think how to market it, or did you do it just because of that solving own problem, but not thinking about marketing?
So usually I would do it like first to handle my use case, what I need it for. Second, I would try to incorporate something that I'm going to learn. Like this would sometimes, I would start a new project, try a new language, try a new framework, as I said earlier. And the third, I would think like how to commercialize it at the end and also market, like some kind of go-to-market strategy. And I often developed go-to-market strategies really well, but then the time to execute comes, and I don't know, it's hard for me to get through. Like I can't see myself posting to dozens of different Facebook groups, Reddits, calling people, emailing people.
And
It's not my thing, I think.
how do you see yourself in the future to improve that process? Because it's also needed, same as programming at the start,
Yeah,
to sell the product.
I'm hoping to streamline it more.
What do you mean with that?
So it's going to be simpler for me to do less, so it's always going to be the same thing, and I'm just going to follow my format that I'm familiar with. Because I think it's really hard to just go and post, like let's say in a random subreddit, right? Or even a random Facebook group. You have to understand the rules, you have to understand how people communicate in there, what are their expectations. And only then you can make like a successful post, or otherwise you're going to be coming there as a spammer. And I remember first time I posted in one of the subreddits for like virtual reality, because I was working on that project. I was really anxious about pressing the button post, um, and then I finally did it. It felt great, but it took me like months of almost studying how I'm gonna do it, to actually do it.
Yeah.
And then the second time around, it was easier. The third time around, it was even easier. So now I want to figure out like what are the processes that work for me.
I think the starts are always the funny, because I was also scared shitless at when I started promoting my subscription box, and I started promoting on the Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And the first ads were always the cringiest and the funniest, and I had to turn off for 24 hours my notifications and come check later if there's any progress. And you
Yeah,
see, nothing happens and you need to improve it. So
yeah.
you can't hide from that if you want to sell a product, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. So you find some kind of process that works and keep improving it, Maybe even this podcast is part of the equation for me, I want to get regular with making podcasts.
Mhm.
Hopefully this grows to can be even a small audience, but doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah,
But this is hopefully gonna allow me to like showcase the project I did in the future or something like that. Um,
yeah, definitely. I think there are many platforms to show things like
yeah,
Reddit, YouTube.
Yeah, but what do you want to do and how do you want to go about them? As I said, every community has their own rules and systems how it works, right? I think I understand Reddit fairly well, but each subreddit is different. It's a lot of work.
But do you think you need to cater to that platform, or is just enough to show passion to the people? That same idea that you cook for months
hmm
for the product, and you just figure out the angle that you want to show other people that they could solve own problems with your product.
Depends if it's really general, that could work, I guess, right? Because I could sell it to you right now.
Yeah.
But if it's something fairly niche, like the last side project I did, which is like a Notion Slack automations thing,
Mhm.
it's really niche because first you have to use Slack professionally, and then you have to use Notion professionally, right? And then you have to have someone that's really invested in the workflow that's gonna configure it all. And I
What do you
think,
target with that product?
sorry.
Who was your target?
Yeah, my target was like product managers at various different companies that use both of these products, right? So I tried to use like Google Ads to get the word out, because going around and talking to people showing my passion is not going to do anything for that. Who uses that specific tools?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
product managers like you from
yeah,
other companies.
yeah, but how do you target them? Where do you find them? I guess like in subreddit, you could post this in product managers. You could post it to Slack. You could post it to Notion. You have
Maybe
like,
cold emailing.
yeah, cold emailing, which is what I don't want to do. Um, but
What's stopping you from that?
just loads of research, hard to streamline, I think, because you have to find all the relevant people. I think this is fairly manual labor. Then if you want to send high quality emails, I don't think you just spam the same thing, right? You send something
Mhm.
personal to them.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I understand other things are going to take time, but like for example this podcast, I think it's going to have much better long-term value for me than sending emails to random
Mhm.
people that might think I'm a spammer.
Yeah, I think you need to figure out what you do best, right? And
Yeah.
what to hire other people that do it better.
Yeah, so you're thinking we are doing the best podcast ever?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Fuck other podcasts.
That's the spirit.
Bring it on.
Let's go. Yeah, and then
What's other questions we have?
I wonder, like, how do you manage time between side projects and your main job?
Yeah, that was my biggest issue from the past, from last years, from that first idea,
Mhm.
because I was contractor for 5 years, and that was already a big task for a whole day, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking all these years how to make time for my side projects.
hmm
And in the past month, I was in the supermarket and I pick up a book, How
Yeah.
to Wake Up at 5 a.m.
All right.
And for the past month, I'm already in that. I try to make a routine. In the book, it says like 66 days you need to make
Yeah.
a routine, but I'm 24 days in. So
Okay.
there are days that I couldn't wake up. But yeah, if you make a that routine, you wake up at 5, do some exercise, breathing exercise are for me, then do some diary, you write some thoughts you had, you process that, and then you read a book for 20 minutes, and by 6 a.m. you're ready to start.
Yeah.
So I make that time from 6 to 8 to now do a side project that I want to do, because this is the most important time for a day. And I figured out that if I do that 6 to 8 for my project, it also I share that energy for the whole day for other jobs and other projects, because I already did for something for myself, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's most important, that you satisfy that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of life, I figured.
Yeah. No, you said it well. I think.
Because if you don't do it for yourself and do the side project, I think you are bitter because jobs don't have projects like that you are passionate about for the long run, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you want to do, and it becomes boring.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so you're saying you take time before work now to
Yeah,
do your side project. You have a
yeah.
couple of hours that
I
you
found that time, yeah, that
dedicate
it's most
dedicated it.
suitable. What
Yeah.
about you?
Um, Initially, it was really similar. Actually, when I was younger, I did was waking up at 6 before school, trying to code things, and then eventually I stopped waking up early. The job started late, and I started doing side projects like in the last couple of hours of the day. Like 10 p.m. to midnight. But I want to change and get back to your schedule. Um,
What you think is better?
in the morning, you're fresh. You have the best energy possible, right?
Yeah,
But I don't think that's the limit of it, right? I also did like a job side project, a job in the past, like mix it all together,
yeah,
kind of. And what really helped is like if you want to work a long stretch of work, I did like a meditation in the middle of the day, like 5-10 minutes. Lay down, try to turn off your brain, maybe up to 20 minutes, um, and then this like refreshed me completely.
yeah. I think you need to do it in sprints. Do
Kind,
1 hour, do a break for 10 minutes, do 1 hour, do a break,
yeah.
or do a gym in the middle and do other things.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think you need to cool off at the end, I think,
Yeah,
because I figured what I do at the end, what I do from 8 to midnight, it was always some Netflix bullshit that doesn't matter and some other distractions that only takes your focus and time that you could be sleeping and wake up in the morning.
and be fresh
That's
and do
better
your
time,
thing.
yeah. Be fresh.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I was struggling a lot with like figuring out how I'm gonna manage my time. So I was working remotely for two companies. One was full time, one was part time, and I really have a passion for side projects. I wanted to do some side projects as
Mhm.
well, which was extremely hard, right? So I wanted to figure it out what's the best system, and I actually built a tool that allows you to like easily just you draw the days where okay, this is my main job, this is my side project, this is main job, this is a
Mhm.
second job, this is where I sleep, this is where I eat. Like you can do all of these things, and then at the end it tells you, look, you spent 33% of the time on this job,
Mhm.
33 on that job, and 33 on the side project, for example. So it gives you a breakdown.
Mhm.
And I think it's really valuable because many people don't realize how short the weeks are actually, or how short the day is, right? So if you have a job and you sleep, this is like 16 hours gone.
Yeah, I think you need to plan it. That's
Yeah.
what I figured in the last week, because when you are free, you're mostly distracted all the time. But if you do it like this hour, I'm gonna do this task, and
Hmm.
you do it,
Yeah.
because at the end of that hour, there's something else waiting, right?
Yeah.
But if nothing is waiting, you're just pushing it longer, which
Yeah.
is not optimal, right?
Yeah. So always this procrastination.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
boundaries and other things.
I absolutely agree. Let me just unlock my computer.
You also could start at a good point. What about when you're looking for a new job? Do you tell them I want to do a side project, because are there some companies that don't want you to do side projects in the past, or
There
was
was
that
a
the case?
there was a case where they gave me like a standard contract, and it was written in it that all the side projects or all the code I produce while in their employment or something like that,
Mhm.
which I'm not even sure it's legal, is their property, right? And
Mhm.
then I told them like, if you put this clause out of the contract, I'll be happy to take a job,
Mhm.
but it's not your business to tell me what I do outside of work.
Yeah,
But
but
Google is famous for that, for example. I think that
yeah,
everything you produce while you're employed there, it's their property, even if it's at home. Um,
crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, would you say it's good to be open and say to that employer, I'm gonna do side projects,
Uh,
because this is good for you also, right? Like I said, it shares that energy of
yeah, I think, but then employers will see this as a distraction usually, right?
why.
Because you're gonna be spending your brain power on something else. Then as you said, you start the day on your thing first. You spend the best energy in the morning, and then you become like a secondary yoni for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
I disagree with this because you can meditate, you can learn in that time and be better at the job, right?
Mhm.
There's so many things you can pull out of that, but I don't think that's how employers see it normally.
Yeah, but you could make also exceptions. Like if there is a critical bug, of course you're not gonna do your side project, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna be bugging you. You need to do that bug because the
yeah,
salary is dependent on that to fix it. You're paid for that.
yeah. Fair enough.
There are exceptions,
Mm,
but if nothing is happening, you could make that time, right?
yeah,
There's also a time and place to do that schedule. It's not like set in stone, right?
yeah, yeah. No, you should be flexible to some level, absolutely. But then what happened also is that I wouldn't tell them that I'm gonna do a side project, and then I would feel guilty, and maybe even maybe this was the what made the last step harder of releasing and pushing things out. I didn't tell my job I'm working on a side project, how it's gonna look like if I push something out now. They're gonna be like, what the hell? So I would recommend, if you feel the vibe, maybe just tell them you're gonna work on something on the side.
Yeah, I think
But
this is the best option.
but promise them, and not only them, promise to yourself that you're gonna give them the time you promised them, right?
Yeah,
Don't let them suffer because you're working on something else. Um,
yeah. You need to also sell that idea because it's also good for them.
yeah, if you can package it in this way, I think that's perfect.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Um, what advice would you give to someone that's hesitant to start their own side project?
Um, just feel that passion when you come up to idea and start researching it, how to do it, and start making something out of it.
Hmm.
But if it's not a good time, maybe cook it more. Mm, but yeah, don't make it perfect, I think,
Yeah,
because a lot of people want to make it perfect, and yeah, then it's never a release time.
yeah, I 100% agree. We said let it cook, but I would also say let it rest. Like if you have idea, don't jump first day on it.
Hmm.
Let it rest a week or two, and you will see if you will see if you still feel passionate about it.
Hmm.
Um, Also, if you are a person with loads of ideas, like I look around and I keep seeing things I want to do all the time. I have a spreadsheet list of my ideas, and I enter the new idea in, and there's like few columns: how much I think I'm gonna enjoy it, what's the commercial potential for it, what's the learning potential of it,
Hmm.
and then there's like a last row that combines it all together. And you can literally look, now I feel like I want to make money, I'm gonna go for commercial success. I want to enjoy life, I'm gonna work on the enjoyment one, right?
Hmm.
um, so yeah, maybe make a list. It would be one advice. We said let it cook, so go deeper. Let it rest. So don't jump on it immediately. Persevere, because it's gonna be hard. It's
Yeah,
gonna be up and down, and it's not gonna pay off immediately. But try to figure out the long-term benefits.
yeah. I also think it needs to be your pain point, what you need to solve.
Ideally, absolutely agree. Yeah,
Yeah, ideally, because if it's not, it's really hard
yeah,
to
really hard to
connect with it.
understand the user.
Yeah,
Really hard to get passion for it.
to just don't do it just for the sake of it, I think. And
Yeah.
did you explore any challenges with side projects?
What do you mean
A
challenges?
lot of people do it like one project every month or a year.
No, I didn't structure it this way. I think this would push me too much into like a deadline mode, and I don't want this on a side project. Side project, for me at least, it's supposed to relax me and
Hmm.
help me like that. I mean, I had to make a deadline for Stress Out because I was spending money there for a 3D artist, and we had to do the milestones. Otherwise, I would just spend too much money, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I come up with a question. What about when you get a passion, you think about idea? What about when you want to share that idea, like get some feedback for a friend? What do they think about that idea? How important it is
mhm.
to not let influence your passion about that idea, to not quit it and put it on the side.
I guess you're asking because you ask a friend and he immediately sees
Yeah,
10 problems, and then you're like, oh, maybe it's not good, right?
yeah.
I mean, I can tell you how I deal with it. For me, I ask it, I show it to the people, especially if they are relevant, at least a little bit, right?
Hmm.
I'm not showing my idea to the person that has nothing to do with it, like Notion, Slack automation. I'm not showing it to your wife because
Yeah.
she's not using either of these tools. It's irrelevant. But like if I work on something that would be interesting to her, I would show it to her. I would ask her. I wouldn't take her opinion as a like, look, that's how it is, or anyone's opinion really, right? Except if
Mhm.
that person is really an expert and has like a history
Mhm.
of doing this stuff. Then yeah, they take their opinion. But otherwise, I
Well,
think listen to it, take notes, and you will see which opinions start to repeat and how they happen.
was there a case that you stopped a project because of some opinion that was really strong, and or maybe you take it personal, like they said like this product is really shit, and you were thinking about it, you said like maybe
Yeah.
he's right.
No, I didn't stop a project because of that, but I maybe started certain projects because of that. I think I was talking with someone, can't remember exactly who, and he was saying that vertical businesses are really niche specific things like integrations between multiple tools. Hello, Moshe. Integrations between multiple tools are gonna be really good, and where you should focus on, because
Mhm.
the general broad topics are covered. You have document editors, all this stuff, and then I built this really niche
Mhm.
thing, right, which was maybe a mistake. So it's not that something would stop me, but something made me start maybe the wrong thing,
Mhm.
or helped me start the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to put the blame on them at all, but it's just like it
Mhm.
influenced my opinion for sure.
Do you maybe have a routine to figure out the pain points, or what's the next problem to work on? How do
Uh,
you go to that idea?
yeah, for me it comes from my passion, like passion. Sorry, for my pain points, and then if I feel something, I need to do something. I see like at our work we are struggling to do something that would be useful. If it's my own thing, this is where it comes for me at least.
Mhm.
What about you? Do you have like a systematic approach?
Yeah, I'm thinking about the pain points, like what could be improved, where I'm struggling, how to automate it.
You know what's also interesting about this? That people that are in like similar positions doing similar things, they have similar pain points. That's why they usually pay for them. But the funny thing is that I had in my student years, I heard idea about making a beer app multiple times, like make an app where you can export beers and stuff like that. By the way, there are apps for that. If you need it, just go for it.
Yeah.
I know I have a friend who is like into breweries and all this kind of stuff. Guess what's the idea? He tells me, make a beer app. It's like, I think the idea is that when they come up, so many people have the same thing. Especially if you come from this like mainstream feeling pain points. I feel like this way, this is my pain, I'm gonna do this. Sometimes you really need like a shift in thinking. It's hard to know how to do that. Sometimes it just happens. I don't know.
Yeah, but some people have a vision, right?
Yeah.
That you don't see it. Like that guy from a beer app,
Mm-hmm.
he probably already thinking like steps that you don't see. Like he has a network where to sell that product, right?
Potentially, yeah.
That could be like what we programmers don't see, right?
Yeah.
We always see some CEOs that have a vision, but they don't. We don't see that market.
Yeah,
What
we don't
he's
have their
seeing,
experience,
yeah,
their perspective.
which is also crucial.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
always a problem because, yeah.
yeah, that's why you need a lot of communication with like, if you're in a startup, you need a lot of communication with C-level people because they give you hopefully this perspective that you're lacking, right? And this inspires you to
Mhm.
continue coding. And
It's crucial that they inspire you, right?
yeah, exactly.
Also, when you build a company, that you inspire other employees
Mm-hmm.
with same idea.
Yeah. So just going back to like where your ideas come from, where your pain points come from, and trying to tell it to them. Um,
Yeah. Also, we worked on in the same company for 5 years, and also the idea was strong, right?
yeah,
And the CEO shared that idea over the employees.
yeah. His passion, like how he described it, how he felt the pain, we could
Yeah,
feel it the same when he was
yeah.
describing it.
But
And
we didn't understand it all the aspects, but we felt the passion, right?
yeah,
And we believed what he was saying.
yeah. So that's important. Okay,
Really important, yeah.
we're getting really long here. We said these podcasts are gonna be short.
Yeah. The
So
special edition,
this is special edition side projects.
Ljubljanska ulica.
Ljubljanska ulica, Ljubljana streets. um, yeah. Thanks, Janne. And
See you next time.
see you in the next podcast. That's hopefully going to be shorter. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things you need to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Check the description and
Yeah.
all the channels that we have.
Yeah, all the channels, like everything, subscribe everywhere. Perfect. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.